Hi, I'm Leanne from Crafter's Companion. I'm here to show you how to get the best from your 8-inch Edgeables. You've got them home, you're really looking forward to using them, and you're wanting to know which is the best sandwich to use with your Gemini. And that's what we're going to have a look at now. Because the 8-inch Edgeables are much larger, so they're a full width of A4, and you've got a lot of detail in there with all of the detail for the wording and for the little swirls and accents that we've popped in, you need to make a little tweak to the Gemini sandwich to get the very best out of them. This is the sort of thing you're going to be able to do. These are really fabulous dies, allowing you to do the lovely things that you've been able to do with your smaller Edgeables, but in much larger projects. So in your A5, in your 8x8, anything that takes the width of A4 card, basically. So on with how you get the best from them. Now, first of all, I just want to explain what you would do for a regular thin metal die, and then how you're going to change it up a little bit for your 8-inch Edgeables. So usually with your Gemini, you would have your purple base cutting plate, then you would have your plastic shim, then you would have your magnetic positioning plate, depending on whether it's a very detailed or larger detailed die or not, but let's just say it's a regular die. And then you would have your thin metal die, your paper, and your tub cutting plate, and that's how you would cut it. Because these dies have a lot more detail over a larger area, and so therefore we need to increase the pressure, we're going to do something a little bit different, and we're going to take out the magnetic shim, because I know for a fact that we'll need to cut this more than once because of all of the different touch points for the detail that we've got on the roller. You've heard us talk about that many times before. What we are going to do by taking out the magnetic though, is we're going to add in the metal shim. Now the metal shim, as well as increasing pressure, improves cut when you cut your die into it, because it's metal biting into metal, which gives that improved performance. So we're replacing the magnetic with our metal, we're popping the cutting plate on top, and we're going to put it through and see what happens. So we'll just wait for that to go through. When it comes out the other side, we'll be able to assess whether we're happy just with the one cut, or whether we maybe just need to pop it through a second time. And again, that's because of the size of the die and the amount of intricacy we've got over a full width of A4 card, which up to now has been, nigh on impossible to achieve. So if I show you that now, you can see that that has actually cut really well in most of the places. There's just a small area here where I would like to improve it slightly. So what I'm going to do is just put the same sandwich through again, so my metal's going back in. And remember, you're rotating and flipping your plates to preserve the life out of them every time. Preserve the life out of them. Preserve the lifetime of them. But you could preserve the life out of them as well if you want to. So we're popping that through a second time, and then we'll assess again. And this is definitely the best way to use your Gemini. Least amount of pressure, and after every cut, have a look and see, am I happy with that? So just check again, and I am very happy with that. So you can see by taking my magnetic out, popping my metal in, and just whizzing it through twice. And if you don't want to wait for a full pass as I just have, you could use the reverse function, which is very similar to 2 passes. So through, halfway, back out would be the same as 2 cuts. And you can see here now, everything is cut absolutely beautifully, exactly as I'd wanted to. So then I would take out my metal, and remember these have got emboss function as well as stenciling if you want to pick up some of the detail on the wording. Pop in my rubber, flip and rotate my plate, pop it through the Gemini to emboss the detail. I've got some cards on the floor to show you, I'll get them in a minute. So you'll excuse us when I go rootling around on the floor, I'm sure. So the emboss is finished now, and then I just pick that up and show you before I release it. You can see it's even wanting to come away itself there now, so I've got all of that beautiful detail. And then I would just release the die I always turn it over. This is really important. I see some people when they're using dies doing this, holding the die and ripping the card up away. You really don't want to do that because you can't see the damage you're doing if you're ripping away one of the little detailed elements. So always turn your card over and then pick the die up from the card. Look how much more easy that was. And then all I would do is take my little pokey tool, pop through the little cut pieces, and as you can see, I've got lovely clean cuts there. And I've got a little bit of black card so I can show that to you, so it's difficult to see through, I know, when it's empty underneath. So I just pick up my black card and show you that that's done lovely clean cuts all the way through. So because it's my Edgeable, I can fold it at the sides. If I was making my card like that, with my edge, I'll pop that in there so you can see that, and I do that. You can see that that's absolutely beautiful, exactly what you want your 8-inch Edgeables to do. And all you need to do is take out your magnetic, use your metal and pop it through twice. And you'll get that with really the majority of them in this range. Occasionally, I might, with a very detailed one with lots of words on, have stuck it through a third time, but 99% of the time I'm doing 2 cuts with the addition of my metal with the magnetic out, remember, and then 1 emboss. And because you've got your 8 inches, you can do lots of beautiful things like this. So you can do it across your full A5 width of a box. We've got our lovely tent cards here. Sorry, gatefold, I beg your pardon. You can see there, wishing you at the top. You can do your diagonal cards across an 8x8, and if I just slip that in, you can see there, love you to the moon and back. So we've got loads of beautiful designs, all of the concepts that you're used to using with these. Excuse my ham-fistedness while I try to show you. You can do with them. Just take out your magnetic, I'll say it again, pop in your metal, do that twice, emboss once, and you're going to get so much fun out of these fabulous 8-inch Edgeable dies.